Get ready, coin collectors. Today, we're diving into the top 3 most rare and valuable coins in U.S. history. Coins so special they've made headlines and sold for staggering amounts of money. Imagine finding a 2,000-piece Sacagawea Cheerios dollar, or discovering the legendary 1975 No S proof dime. And don't forget the surprising value of the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar, which has shocked collectors worldwide. One of these coins could turn your pocket change into a life-changing fortune. Imagine picking up what looks like an ordinary Roosevelt dime. Just 10 cents in face value, small, shiny, and often ignored by most people. But that's exactly the case with the 1975 No S proof Roosevelt dime. With only a couple of known examples in existence, it is one of those once-in-a-lifetime rarities that could change your life overnight, if you were lucky enough to find one. Before diving into the 1975 No S error, let's step back. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing in 1945. Roosevelt was celebrated for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as for his founding of the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio. What makes the 1975 No S proof dime special? In 1975, all proof coins for collectors were minted at the San Francisco Mint, and they carry the S mint mark. Every single 1975 proof dime should have an S just above the date. A small handful of proof Roosevelt dimes from that year were accidentally struck without the S mint mark. Instead of reading 1975S, they simply read 1975. This No S variety is what makes the coin so incredibly rare. Experts believe only 2 known examples exist, making this one of the scarcest U.S. coins of the entire 20th century. How could such an error happen? Mint mark mistakes are some of the most fascinating in coin history. Here's how this one likely occurred. Die preparation error. In the 1970s, mint marks were still manually punched onto proof coin dies. A die prepared for the 1975 proof dime series was accidentally left without the S mint mark. Proof strikes. These weren't circulation coins. Proofs are specially struck for collectors, with mirror-like fields and sharp details. Accidental release. Somehow, these rare No S dimes escaped detection and were packaged with proof sets, then sold to collectors. Once collectors noticed the missing mint mark, the coin became legendary overnight. The rarity factor. Why so valuable? The 1975 No S dime is valuable because of 3 factors. Mintage rarity. With only 2 known examples, this coin is rarer than most 19th century gold coins. Collector demand. Roosevelt dimes are a hugely popular series, and error-proof coins always spark demand. Historical significance. This is one of the few major modern U.S. coins missing a mint mark entirely. In coin collecting, rarity plus demand equals astronomical value. Auction records. How much is the 1975 No S dime worth? Now for the part that really makes people's jaws drop, the sales history. In 2011, a 1975 No S proof dime sold at Heritage Auctions for $349,600. Another example has been valued even higher, with expert estimates pushing $500,000 or more. Some believe if one were to surface today, in perfect condition, bidding wars could send it to $1 million plus. Think about it, a dime worth more than a Ferrari, more than a house, more than gold itself by weight. How to identify a 1975 No S proof dime? If you have proof sets from 1975, you'll want to check them carefully. Here's what to look for. Proof finish. These are mirror-like coins, not circulation dimes. No S mint mark. Above the date 1975, there should be an S. If there's no mint mark, your heart should skip a beat. Packaging. These dimes originally came in 1975 proof sets. Important, only 2 are confirmed. That makes the odds of finding one extremely slim, but not impossible, especially if there are still undiscovered sets out there. Other No S mint mark coins. A pattern of errors. The 1975 No S dime isn't the only coin of its kind. Similar mint mark errors have appeared in other years. 1968 No S Roosevelt dime, valued around $15,000 plus. 1970 No S Roosevelt dime, valued around $25,000, $30,000. 1983 No S Roosevelt dime, valued around $1,000 to $1,000. 1990 No S Lincoln set, valued up to $20,000. But the 1975 No S Dime is the absolute king of them all, rarer, more dramatic, and far more valuable. Tips for collectors and sellers: if you think you have one of these coins, don't clean it. Cleaning destroys value. Get it certified by PCGS or NGC immediately. Keep it safe, preferably in a holder or vault. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers are the best places to sell, where bidding wars can maximize value. Conclusion: the 1975 No S Proof Roosevelt Dime is one of the most remarkable coins in U.S. history. With only two confirmed examples, it is rarer than almost any other modern coin, and its value has already climbed into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors love it for its mystery, its beauty, and its story. And the dream of finding just one keeps people searching old proof sets, hoping to strike modern treasure. The true story of the 1979 D-Error Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Most people see the Susan B. Anthony dollar as an ordinary piece of pocket change, maybe even a failed experiment of the U.S. Mint. But within this coin's history lies a treasure chest of rare mint errors, valuable varieties, and legendary auction records that have turned ordinary dollars into fortune-making collectibles. By the end of this video's article, you'll know why the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is so important in U.S. coin history. Which error varieties and rare 1979 D issues are worth big money? How values range from a few dollars to hundreds of thousands, and why some might even rival million-dollar sales. The secret to spotting these hidden treasures in your own collection. So buckle up, because this is more than just coin collecting. It's a treasure hunt hiding in plain sight. For collectors, that short production window opened the door to rare mint errors, experimental strikes, and valuable misprints, especially from the very first year, 1979, the 1979 de Susan B. Anthony dollar. Why Denver Mint matters. The Denver Mint struck tens of millions of Susan B. Anthony dollars in 1979. Most are only worth face value. But here's the thing. Denver was notorious for producing varieties and errors in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The 1979 SBA dollar is no exception. Some coins left the mint with striking errors, die varieties, and rare misalignments that today fetch eye-popping prices. And while the Philadelphia Mint has the famous wide rim, near-date 1979 P variety, the Denver Mint errors remain highly desirable for serious collectors. Rare error varieties of the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar. Off-center strike errors. The more dramatic the off-center, especially if you can still see the full date, the higher the value. Value: $100 to $3,000 depending on severity. Double strike, multiple strike errors, extreme double strikes where one strike overlaps another significantly are extremely collectible. Value: $500 to $5,000, clipped planchette errors. These odd-shaped coins are striking and rare. Value: $200 to $1,000 plus. Broad strike and misaligned die errors. Value: $100 to $1,500. Wrong planchette errors, the big jackpot. Examples: struck on quarter plankets, nickel plankets, or even foreign coin plankets. These are incredibly rare and can fetch $10,000 to $100,000 plus at auction. Auction records: when Susan B. Anthony dollars break the bank, collectors love Susan B. Anthony errors because they're dramatic and relatively modern. Some jaw-dropping sales include a 1979 SBA struck on a quarter planchette sold for $10,925. A 1979 SBA struck on a foreign planchette brought over $15,000. Off-center and double strike errors in high grade regularly fetch $1,000 to $5,000. And remember, the coin market is always evolving. As collectors hunt for higher grade or newly discovered varieties, prices can skyrocket overnight. Why collectors love the 1979 D-Error dollar. So why is the 1979 D-Error Susan B. Anthony dollar such a hot collectible? Historical significance: first year of the series, first woman on U.S. coinage. Minting shortages, produced for only a few years, with 1979 being the launch year. Error-rich era: the late 1970s Denver Mint produced multiple striking mistakes. Affordability and excitement. While some errors are million-dollar coins, others can be found for a few hundred, making it accessible for beginners and thrilling for pros. How to spot a valuable 1979 SBA error. If you're going through your collection, here's what to check. Weight test. Wrong planchette coins will weigh less or more than the standard 8.1 grams. Design alignment. Look for off-center strikes or missing rims. Strange shapes, clips, broad strikes, or distorted edges. Double images, doubling on numbers, letters, or Susan B. Anthony's portrait. If you think you've got one, don't clean it. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. That's the key to unlocking its full value. Final thoughts. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is often overlooked, dismissed as just another failed dollar coin. But for collectors and treasure hunters, it's a coin filled with potential, a chance to turn an ordinary dollar into a life-changing discovery. From $1 pocket change to $100,000 plus auction stars, these coins prove that history, rarity, and luck can collide in the most unexpected places. Imagine this. You're digging through your change jar, and suddenly a golden coin gleams back at you. But wait. Could this be the legendary 2000 Sacagawea Error dollar worth thousands? Or even millions of dollars? Some versions of this coin, due to rare minting mistakes, have skyrocketed in value to unbelievable levels. Collectors are paying small fortunes for the chance to own one of these historic treasures. While most Sacagawea dollars are only worth face value, certain 2000 error varieties are so rare that they become holy grails in modern U.S. coin collecting. The Sacagawea dollar was first minted in 2000, replacing the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. Congress and the U.S. Mint wanted a coin that was durable, easily distinguishable, and symbolic of American history. The coin features Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark on their famous expedition, carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. The reverse originally displayed a soaring eagle. Designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., the coin was struck in a unique golden alloy made from copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel. But while the design was beautiful, the coin itself faced challenges. Americans were used to dollar bills, and the new golden dollar struggled in circulation. Still, the very first year of issue -2000 turned out to be historic for collectors, thanks to one jaw-dropping minting mistake. The legendary 2000 Sacagawea Dollar Cheerios error. Back in late 1999 and early 2000, General Mills partnered with the U.S. Mint to promote the new dollar. Inside specially marked boxes of Cheerios cereal, the Mint placed 1,000 Lincoln cents and about 5,500 Sacagawea dollars as a marketing campaign. Here's the twist. The first batch of Sacagawea dollars included in those Cheerios boxes had a different reverse design. Instead of the standard smooth tail feathers on the eagle, these early test strikes featured detailed, enhanced tail feathers, a design never used on regular circulation coins. These became known as the Cheerios dollars, and they are among the rarest modern U.S. coins in existence. Only about 60 to 80 examples are confirmed to exist today. A certified Cheerios dollar has sold for over $25,000 at auction. Some estimates suggest that in pristine condition, the value could soar even higher into the hundreds of thousands. Other 2000 Sacagawea Dollar Error varieties. Mule Error. The million-dollar coin, the most famous Sacagawea error ever, is the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, state quarter mule, one sold at auction for $1.3 million, making it one of the most valuable modern coins in U.S. history. Wounded Eagle variety. Another collectible 2000 variety is called the Wounded Eagle. These typically sell for $500 to $7,000, depending on grade, off-center strikes, and double strikes. Auction records, when coins break the bank, some of the most jaw-dropping sales include 2000 Sacagawea Mule Error, sold for $1.3 million. 2000 Cheerios dollar, one brought $29,900 at auction. 2000 Wounded Eagle PCGS graded examples have sold for $5,000 to $7,000. These sales prove that the Sacagawea dollar is no ordinary modern coin. It's a hidden treasure that can fetch life-changing money. Why collectors love the 2000 Sacagawea dollar errors. Rarity. Some varieties are scarcer than even classic 1800s coins. Modern appeal. Collectors love that a coin minted in 2000 can rival the value of centuries-old rarities. Mystery. New discoveries are still being made, with collectors finding fresh examples of errors in circulation or old collections. Storytelling. From the Cheerios promotion to the Mule Error, each coin carries a fascinating narrative. How to tell if you have one? Check the reverse tail feathers. If they're highly detailed, you might have a Cheerios dollar. Look closely at the eagle's body. A line or gouge might mean a wounded eagle variety. Mule errors. If your Sacagawea has a quarter front and dollar back, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. Either errors, off-center strikes, double strikes, and planchette flaws can also be valuable. Final thoughts. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar proves that you don't need to be a lifelong collector to stumble upon hidden treasure. Whether it's the legendary Cheerios dollar, the dramatic wounded eagle, or the record-breaking Mule Error, these coins are among the most valuable modern U.S. coins ever struck. So next time you get change at the grocery store, look closely. That golden coin in your hand could be worth more than your car, or even your house.